You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite road. Above the rest, you're the best I know.
We're John and Bev, and we are the Retirement Travelers. In a recent video, we took the Rocky Mountaineer train across the Canadian Rocky Mountains and visited Jasper and Banff National Parks. When we left Calgary, we took a direct flight to Dublin, Ireland, where we arrived in the morning. Our first few days were spent getting our internal clocks readjusted to the time zone in Europe and exploring the city. Dublin is a vibrant city and is the starting point for our 2-week Emerald Isle adventure, where we took a road and rail trip exploring the southwest coast and then a train to Belfast to explore Northern Ireland. Once we got our bearings, we did what most every tourist does in Dublin. We visited the #1 attraction, the Guinness Storehouse. We took part in the self-guided tour and learned how this Irish stout is made.
You are my favorite shade of rose, a flower bed on my favorite stones. I love the ground where your roots have grown. You're my favorite place. Kind of glow. You radiate my favorite tone. You shed a light that guides me home to my favorite place.
We took the Irish rail to the city of Cork, where we spent 2 nights, which gave us an entire day of exploring the city.
One of our favorite activities is walking and talking, and Cork was a great place to do that. The next day, we headed to the airport and picked up our rental car so we could visit the Blarney Castle and kiss the stone.
You know, they say if you kiss the stone, it will give you the gift of eloquence and persuasion. It's located up at the top of the castle. Today, we're going to do some smooching, start our day off right. While we wait to see if the gift of eloquence will be bestowed upon us, we headed to Limerick to give it a try. Before checking into our hotel, we stopped at the cutest little pub, Bobby Burns, to have some lunch and write a few limericks. Because what else are you going to do in Limerick?
We've chosen a life without stuff and been asked if it's really enough. We say with a grin, we do it again. Living without just ain't that rough.
Okay, well here's option 2. We drove from Cork to Limerick City, It rained all day. That was such a pity. We kissed the Blarney Stone. More eloquence? Still unknown, but perhaps a wee bit more witty.
Okay, this is number 3. You have life in the palm of your hand while listening to an Irish band, and forget all your troubles when your drinks are doubles. The Emerald Isle sure is grand.
I like that one. And option number 4 here. As a travel couple from the US, we love foods of the world, must confess. But after looping the earth, we increased our girth. Perhaps we should have eaten much less.
Okay, well, that's our fun. We're hitting the road. This thing's been beeping at us the whole time that we were doing it.
You remind me of so many things. You remind me of flowers, golden hour, coloring. You remind me of light shining through, twirling, dancing across the room. You remind me of falling rain. Yeah, that sweet, sweet sound on my window pane. You remind me of sky so blue. I'm gonna hold on tight to you.
Well, we've made it to the cliffs of Moher.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It's Moher fun here.
It is much more fun here
So if you're
than driving those little bitty roads that are
this is
so hard
way
to
more
get by.
fun, way more fun than driving. But if you make it to the western coast of Ireland, you have to come over to the cliffs of Moher. This is an amazing place.
We made our way to Galway and then headed to the town of Athlone, where we spent the night. Our evening included a walk to the oldest pub in Europe, Sean's Bar, thought to have been established in 900 AD, over 1,000 years ago. We joined some interesting people and had another pint before walking back to our hotel to call it a night.
The next day we drove back to Dublin and attended a Folktale and Fairies talk at the Stag's Head pub. We learned some history about the early superstitions of the Irish and the role fairies played in it.
And back then, people didn't have the scientific knowledge that we have today to explain why so many things happen in their lives. Why a crop could be good one year and fail the next. Why somebody's child lived a long, healthy life and another's died before their time. So they explained these difficult, these unexplainable things as the actions of another world, an unseen world that they believed affected so many aspects of their lives.
The next day, we took a train to Northern Ireland.
Every breath holds a moment, everyone a chance to take. You can see it if you close your eyes. We already know the way. Forever you and me, running wild and free, chasing down the sun. Oh, we've just begun. It's a winding road of all the places we will go.
Once we arrived, we enjoyed several days of exploring the city. The biggest attraction is Titanic Belfast. This is a wonderful museum that tells the story of the RMS Titanic and her conception, construction, launch, and historic fateful journey. It was a very informative and interesting museum, but it was especially somber seeing each name of the soul that perished that fateful day listed on the wall of the museum. It was not lost on us that the city of Belfast must have had quite a sad time for years following the disaster after having built this beautiful ship.
Another notable attraction in Belfast is St. George's Market. This market is a great place for foodies and those in search of trinkets. We made friends, and that was enough for us.
We will go.
We also rented a car to take us to a line item on our bucket list, the Giants Causeway. Before we got there, we made a stop in the town of Bushmills. John's brother had recommended a little cheese shop that he had happened upon called Magdon. This quaint shop makes what we deemed the world's best grilled cheese sandwiches. They use local farmhouse cheeses and meats and usually offer 4 varieties. The sandwiches are grilled to perfection and served with a smile.
That was worth the wait. Excellent. It's a little spicy chorizo and cheese. Our last stop was the Giants Causeway. This is a natural wonder in Northern Ireland that features unique hexagonal basalt columns that have been a source of myths and legends. We loved our hike along this beautiful shoreline and climbing and sitting on the columns as we watched the waves roll in.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite road. Above the rest, you're the best I know. You are my favorite place to go.
Be sure to hit subscribe and follow along on our retirement journey around the world.